During the political upheaval of the American Revolution, 13 American colonies that were already effectively at war with Great Britain declared themselves independent and no longer a part of the British Empire. The Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776, marked the beginning of a process that would give birth to a new nation. The American Constitution, which set out the fundamental principles and laws of the new nation, was drafted 11 years later at a convention presided over by George Washington. Although the Constitution could become effective upon being ratified by 9 of the 13 colonies, George Washington wanted it to be approved unanimously. The last holdout was Rhode Island. As an incentive, Washington promised a presidential visit if they signed on.
It's 1790. Rhode Island finally votes to approve the Constitution, and George Washington has to fulfill his promise. He comes and makes a state visit to Rhode Island, and he comes to Newport. Newport had a significant Jewish community. It had a beautiful synagogue, what we know as the Touro Synagogue. So when George Washington arrives, there are letters read out to him by different communities, and the Jewish community reads a letter, an address as they call it, to George Washington.
At that time, Jews around the world had limited civic rights, which could be taken away from them on a whim by those in power. The Jews of Rhode Island wanted to be reassured that now this would not be the case.
The most important question that the Jewish community wanted to know was, will all of these guarantees of citizenship and liberty of conscience and so on, will they really apply to Jews? Jews knew that there were many documents written by governments that turned out not really to be worth the paper they were written on. They wanted to hear it right from the mouth of the president.
George Washington's written response to the Jews of Rhode Island offered much more than they had requested. His letter remains significant not only for Jews, but for all Americans, because the promise of religious freedom he set forth defines that which makes America distinctive for all minorities.